Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna. Hare Radhe Radhe Oh Radhe Radhe Hey Radhe Radhe Oh Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Hey Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Hey Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Is the Bhagyan Chitti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shri Chowpatty. Iskanta Andacharya saves the whole world Shri Chowpatty. Jai Om Shri Chowpatty Satashi. Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Parita Koki. Guru Siddhanta Ki. Anacharya Shri Haridasa Koki. Dev Shri Gaur Shri Chaitanya. Nityananda Shri Radha Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakti Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sam Kundara Kandigiri Gavaram Ki Navanam Ki Nuram Ki Raghunath Puri Ki Devi Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Nirvakari Ki God Namiranda All glory to you, glory to you, glory to you, glory to Shri Guru and Shri Guru. Thank you all for inviting me to this blissful house.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna everyone. I'd like to introduce Maharajji. His Holiness Sri Sri Bhakta Swami Maharaj, a stalwart ISKCON Guru, born in 1941, was initiated by Srila Prabhupada in 1969. A staunch sannyasi since 54 years, and he is 84th in age by now. Maharaj has dedicated his life in spreading Krishna consciousness globally. He served as a temple president and has pioneered new centers and has rendered personal services to Srila Prabhupada like driving and massaging for him. After Srila Prabhupada's departure, Maharaj played a key role in Guru Reform movement. He continues to preach in Eastern Europe, accepts disciples, delivers ecstatic kirtans, as we all found out, and profound lectures. Recently, Maharaj has expanded his preaching to Germany, Spain, Slovakia, Bulgaria, and much more. Will you please welcome His Holiness by chanting Haribol 3 times?
Okay, so what's the program? Do you know any bhajans?
They have in the phone. They can search in the phone. Yes, yes.
Yasomati Nandana Jabara Nagara
Yasomati Nandana
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey!
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Bola, bola.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hey! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey!
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey!
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
So this chanting, the idea behind it is that we become Krishnized. Not that we become Krishna, but that we get closer to Krishna, and then because Krishna is pavitra, completely pure, so we become purified. This is the idea, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told us, that we can cleanse the dirty things out of our heart. Dirty things means lust, greed, anger, false ego. So those things are obstacles in our path of devotion. But the chanting will remove them. To give the example of iron in a fire. You put iron in a fire, it becomes just like fire. It's not fire, but it becomes red hot, so much so that if you touch a cloth or something, it will burst into flame. So that's the experience we have with Srila Prabhupada. He wasn't Krishna, he never claimed to be Krishna, but he was so Krishnized that by touching him, by hearing from him, you were hearing from Krishna. I remember I had that like a mystical experience. Once Prabhupada was giving class, it was in London, very place, 1969. And he was saying how the spiritual man is the representative of Krishna. And I was just this far away from him. And I suddenly got a feeling, well, this is not an ordinary person. He's just sitting a few feet from me. But he is really representing Krishna. So I had that, I got to experience that. It wasn't artificial. It was like, really, this person is really representative of Krishna, and he was just in front of me. So So it made a big impression. So the next day I went to give my service. I was fortunate to have the service of giving Prabhupada a massage every day for a few months there. And I said, Srila Prabhupada, I very much liked your class last night. And Prabhupada said, oh, what part did you like? He was very personal. I said, yes, Srila Prabhupada, the part where you said that you were the representative of Krishna. And Prabhupada accepted that. Accepted it. And then he turned it around. And you also can be representative of Krishna. He said, you can also. It's not exclusive, I'm the only guru. You can also be representative. All you have to do is say, Krishna said, or Prabhupada said, he used his own name. Then you're representing Krishna. So it's not very difficult. Learn a few shlokas, learn the essence of Bhagavad Gita, and then you can preach to your friends and neighbors. And acquaintances at work and so on. You know, you don't have to come off as pompous that you know better than them. Just say, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that. And because Bhagavad Gita is so well known, people won't resent it or will they mind that you're speaking from Bhagavad Gita? At your work, will they mind if you talk about Krishna? I don't think so. This is India. When I come in, they all say, Hare Krishna. I can passport control. Oh, Hare Krishna. So it's in your blood, right? And this movement is quite well known. So why not take advantage of the opportunity and speak to your neighbors and friends about Krishna a little bit. You don't have to overburden them, because that's one of the offenses, to preach the glories of the name, the holy name to the Taitas. So if they really don't want to hear it, you can't force them. But if they little open, then we can inject the medicine. This is like a medicine. People say, I don't need a medicine, I'm okay. Everybody thinks they're okay, but we're not okay. We're going to old age, disease, and death. But we're Satchitananda Vigraha. Our spiritual body is there, within, but now it's covered. So we have to uncover it. So this chanting process is that. It uncovers our original position, our original pure position. But when we're born, like this child, they're not saintly. The child is not saintly. He's self-centered. Because of false ego. We're all born into the condition of me, mommy, me. See, you gotta This is we're born like that. It's not, we're not criticizing each other. Everybody is born like that. But in the spiritual world, everyone puts Krishna in the center. That's what makes it spiritual. That's what makes it so Vaikuntha, right? A place which is free from anxiety. Kunta means anxiety, so Vaikuntha, there's no anxiety. But in this material world, everybody has anxiety. Oh, what about my son? What about my father? What about my job? What about... Everybody has some worries. What if my child gets sick? Even we don't have the problem, we're thinking about it. We're fearing that we may get it. But this is called Kunta, material world. But we met a Vaikuntha man, Srila Prabhupada. Even he was going to death, we were with him. There was no anxiety. Sometimes the devotee said to Prabhupada that he wanted to give his youth to Prabhupada and take Prabhupada's old age. And Prabhupada said, no, we don't want to show miracles. That's what Christ did. He showed miracles, and then they said, oh, he must be God. But he's not God. He's clearly saying, thy will be done. He's talking about the God the Father. And we should do his will. He's a person. The Father is a person, yes. And Krishna says, I am the Father of every living entity. So he's the original Father, Krishna. Although we never see him as an old man, always youthful, playing with flute. So we should learn a few principles of Krishna consciousness and preach. Krishna says at the end of the Gita, no one is more dear to me than one who explains the subject to the innocent. I don't want to. For the many innocent people in your country, learn a few principles of Bhagavad Gita and talk to people about it. If they're not interested, okay. It's all right. We can't force them. But some of them will be interested. They want to know, what is it? This is ISKCON, you know. You connected with ISKCON? People know ISKCON. They've heard of it. They may not know much of it. Hey, no crying. Hey! What are you eating, a cartel? What's his name? Is it good? Okay, so we can chat more. I can tell Prabhupada stories I had with him. We can read a verse of Bhagavad Gita. What would you like?
Stories.
Prabhupada stories. You like the story when he chastised me or when he encouraged me? You should say both. Okay, I'll start out with the chastising. Yeah, he was there in London, 1969, and I was the senior brahmachari. So when he came, I was given the service of massaging him. He had sent me there a month or so before he came. So he came, this was in August 1969. And because I was senior brahmachari, so I was given the service of massaging him. The doctors had recommended that he should get a massage every day. He hadn't had a heart attack. Massage was good for his circulation. So he liked a vigorous hot massage every day. From 45 minutes to an hour. Every morning I would go, 11 o'clock in the morning. And he liked vigorous. So it was really good for me because like all my lust disappeared. Just by touching his body, it just went away. I felt that he got me purified. But after the first time I gave a massage, I had never given a massage before. So I said, Srila Prabhupada, I've never given a massage. I think I'll go to the library and get a book on how to give a massage. So Prabhupada said, not necessary. Read Bhagavad Gita and Krishna will tell you how to give massage. So it wasn't so much that we have to, first of all, collect knowledge and then we can do service. No. Anybody, from the very beginning, we can serve Krishna. He's playing the flute. He's inviting us. Come. And Prabhupada was like that. Everybody could serve him. He was open. Of course, as the movement grew, then it was more difficult to approach him. But in the early days, especially, anybody could come. Prabhupada was ready to talk to everybody. So, at that time, then, we had our first big open program in London. In London, you know, many Hindus are there, so there was about 300 or 400 people. Maybe 50% were Hindus. And as Prabhupada was giving class, there was a good crowd, and he was talking, I forget exactly what, but one Indian man was objecting. What about Lord Shiva? Why are you only talking about Krishna? Like that. So then Prabhupada kind of calmed him down, and then a few minutes later, again, he stood up. Prabhupada was giving the class. He stood up and interrupted Prabhupada and started going on about something. I don't know exactly what. But Prabhupada turned to him and he said, sit down, you are nonsense. And he never saw Prabhupada so bold. He didn't. Because he was very humble, and so in our presence, he was always humble. He didn't yell at us like he did this man. So anyway, I liked it. Being an aggressive American. So anyway, the next day I was giving him a massage. And again, it was a series of lectures, so he was going to speak again that night. So I was massaging and I was thinking I'm getting him in shape for another knockout performance. Massaging. And I was talking and massaging and talking, and I was thinking, you and me, probably we could take over the world. I was thinking. I didn't say that. That was my mood. So, I'm going on like that for a few minutes, and then suddenly Prabhupada said, "No!" And my hand froze on his body. And he said, to the voice of a child, 6-year-old boy, 7-year-old boy, he spoke from way in his heart. And he said, "I am just a humble servant." I felt so embarrassed. I was thinking, this person is such an aristocrat. I should be in the same room with him. What to speak of touching his body. And it was a throw rub like this. I thought I should. The father made me a little humble because he was genuinely humble. There was nothing artificial there. When he said that he's just a servant, he meant it because he was always remembering his spiritual master, Krishna. So in that relationship, he saw himself as a servant. Even when he was getting angry with them, he was serving. So that's the good chastisement I got, and it helped me to realize, because I was kind of examining when I first came. I saw that they were worshiping Srila Prabhupada's picture and incense and all that. What's that noise? So I was, where I was raised as a Catholic, Roman Catholic, we were taught not to worship any human being. My mother said we should only worship God, not humans. So here there probably was a human, and they were worshiping him. So I was a little skeptical. I was trying to investigate, see who this person really is. So that was a lesson for me. I saw who he was. He was very humble. And that's the genuinely humble. Then, why do we need this sound system? You can't hear me without it? Let's just test it. Shut it off and see what we get.
Live transmission.
Now, can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
I'll speak clearly. But if there's somebody recording and sending it something?
Yes, it's a
Yes,
live
Maharaj.
transmission.
Live transmission may come.
You have to read my lips. But the noise is disturbing.
Yeah, it is.
So now we're just starting, Prabhupada scolded me. You know the word scold? Please. Chastise. Then, one time when he encouraged me. It was the same period, but it was at the end when he was ready to leave. I'm a little cold too. Maybe if he shut his head. So I was attached to that service. That's good, thank you. And I would ask him on occasion, "Baba, will you leave and go back to America? Can I come with you and continue doing this service?" And he was non-committal. He said, "Let us see what Krishna wants." So, but about a week before he was to leave, his servant came to me. He said, "Stop bothering Prabhupada about being his servant and giving him massage, because Prabhupada has given permission to another devotee named Upendra, and he's going to be giving massage when Prabhupada returns to the USA." So, later that day, I was driving to the Prabhupada in the car. This was Prabhupada and we were coming in, I forget what it was. And I asked Prabhupada, I said, "Srila Prabhupada, your servant, Purushottam is his name. Purushottam told me that Upendra is going to be giving you massage when you come to America." And Prabhupada responded with utter silence. Then I thought, it must be true. So I resigned myself, okay, I'm not going with that. it. But then the silence was still there. So I was thinking how to break the silence. At the same time, let Prabhupada know that I was resigned not to go into it. It didn't want to twist his arms. So I said, I broke the silence by saying, Srila Prabhupada, Panda, is he a nice boy? I never met him. Prabhupada turned to me and said, not as nice as you. Right in my heart. That he loved us. He did. He loved everyone. He loves you also. Because you're connected to Krishna, he loves Krishna, so he naturally loves parts and parcels. And he showed that love by sacrificing so much, coming to the West, tolerating heart attack, seasickness, so many difficulties, foreign country, no money, no friends, living in a place that I wouldn't even drive my car through. I was from Long Island, New York, so I knew where he was in the Bowery. It was a place where alcoholics who were on the street with a bottle, and probably was living there for a few months. But he took so much trouble. He really did. That reminds me of another story. We were in Hong Kong, 1974, and Prabhupada was there, and some devotees had come from the Philippines. So one of those devotees, he was a sannyasi, but he was having some trouble. But Prabhupada wanted to encourage him, so he told him about Prabhupada knew that he had had a difficult time in Mayapur the first year, 1974. We didn't have any building. There was only the kutir. Those of you who've been to Mayapur, you know, when you come on the property on the left side, there's Prabhupada's original kutir. It's like a straw house. So that was the only building we had. So he stayed in that building, but there was a flood that year, and he was down, and Prabhupada was encouraging him to talk in front of us. There was only 7 or 8 men. No women. But he was talking and telling us how the snakes were coming in the water, and the water was rising. They were living in the rafters. But then Prabhupada turned to me. What was your most difficult time in Krishna consciousness? I told him something how we were in Japan. We had this big house with just like a wooden thing. It was more like a barn. And you couldn't keep it warm. And we had a kerosene heater, but if you stood in front of it, then your front would be warm, but your back would be cold. So I told him that too. Then Prabhupada, what was your most difficult time? And then suddenly the whole mood changed. Prabhupada became sober. And then he spoke in a very stern voice. He said, "You don't want to know about that." I said, "Oh my God, that was just weird." So then the purport is, we think we did something a little difficult to serving Krishna. But how much difficulty he had to see? He was discouraged by his god brother. He was seasick. He was heart attack. Still, he continued. He thought about a key. Yeah. So it's true. He was so determined. And it wasn't a determination that, of material fame or name or something. He was determined because he was being ordered by his spiritual master. And he said, I heard him personally say, the only qualification I have is I took the order of my spiritual master as my life and soul. Because that was it. He took it as his life and soul. So therefore he could tolerate, he could go forward, even in a reverse situation. It's like we see Prahlad Maharaj, how much he had to tolerate. The demons were coming to torture him and so. So this is the devotee is tested like that. So we're going to have to also pass that test. Each one of us, individually. It's not like a mass movement. Well, you're saved, so everybody is saved. My father was saved. But you have to be also, become a pure devotee. But Prabhupada has made it easy. Lord Chaitanya has made it easy. We don't have to, be tortured by the demons. We have an easy process. Chant and dance and be happy. Just like we're doing tonight. It's not so difficult. But you have to come and take part in it and hear. Hearing is important. It's like now, where you're sitting and there's some austerity. You have to listen to me. Maybe you'd like to be speaking now, like these children are. That's natural. But as adults, we say, okay, now I should be quiet to hear. So that's an austerity. We know it's not. But if you're talking, then you can't hear. So therefore, we request, during class, time you listen. But you can question. We're going to stop after explaining something. And then everyone, we welcome questions. And once, the furthest question became, Sukadeva Goswami and Maharaj Friction, begins like that. So sometimes Maharaj Friction asks such good questions that Sukadeva Goswami went into trance just by hearing the question. Because it gave him a chance to speak more and to elaborate on different points. So they went on like that for 7 days without drinking or eating. Just questions and answers, just hearing and talking. We do 15 minutes and it's long. Just like long. So that some austerity is there. We don't deny it. No necessary, no intoxication, no gambling. Prophet said, I'm only asking you to give up your poison, but we're addicted to that poison. When I first came, I was smoking. I joined the Navy when I was 17. They gave us practically free cigarettes. So we were smoking. And then you get addicted. It was hard. It was hard when I first came. The ritual was involved too. You take the pack, you have to cigarette, you bring the lighter, put it in your mouth. So now we changed that ritual to taking the beads, put them in your hand. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So I was able to give it up. But it was hard. So some austerity is required. In other words, God is free, but He's not cheap. You want to know Him. As you give to Him, He reciprocates accordingly. If you give 2 cents of your $1 billion, you get no reciprocation. As you do. So He's very fair. He's very fair, Krishna. He has no favorites in one sense. He's equal to everyone, but He's inclined to a devotee. Why not? It's like Chowpatty. Because she was a devotee, he couldn't tolerate that she was being insulted. We personally came and provided unlimited sorry. The Dusastan had to give up, trying to disrobe her in the assembly. You would think they'd have taken that as a miracle and understood that Krishna's on their side. But Duryodhana and company, they were envious of this. They couldn't surrender. When Duryodhana came to Krishna, and Arjuna also came for help in the battle that was going to take place. So Arjuna sat at his feet, but Duryodhana thought Krishna was resting. Duryodhana thought, he's equal to me. He's a prince, I'm a prince. And that's the Mayavadi philosophy. No, we can't become equal to Krishna. We have to always remember, as bhaktas, Krishna is great, we're small. This is a fact. Mama Vamsa Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhutasana. We're the particle. And Krishna is the source, like the sun and the sunlight. Same quality, one is great, one is small. So by constitution, we're small. This small. 1/10,000th of the hair. So we should accept that. My real position is to complement the whole. Sometimes I give the example of a beautiful ring with a diamond in the center. But little rubies can be put around it and enhance the beauty of the diamond. So we are like that. We can enhance Krishna's beauty if we cooperate with Him. And He doesn't like to see us suffering. He sees that all of the entities are His parts of Amsa, we're the particle of Him, Mama Amsa. Krishna says, you're my part. So He doesn't like to see us suffering here in the field. Therefore He sends people like Srila Prabhupada. Or He comes Himself and speaks Bhagavad Gita. Or even Christ and Muhammad. We give credit to that. They're trying to get people to be God conscious. Of course, because they don't have proper philosophy, it turns into fanaticism or sentiment. So Prabhupada was careful that he put so much energy into his books. He wanted us to read his books. He didn't want us just to blindly follow him. like the Muslims do. They just blindly follow. But then from the beginning they got it wrong. Or it seems like because there's the Sunni and Shia. And immediately they were killing each other. Isn't that the history? Any Muslims here? So the history of Christ also, they split them quickly. Eastern Orthodox, Roman Catholic, different sects. Now there's like 17,000 different Christian sects. The Prophet was afraid of that. Therefore he made ISKCON with a GBC, Governing Body Commission. He told them that they would be in charge of the society. He didn't see anyone fit to be the Acharya, so he gave a committee like that. In some ways it's a little difficult. It's easier when Prabhupada was here. We'd all accept Prabhupada, so if there was a controversy, we'd go and present it to him and he would resolve. That was it, we'd accept it. But now, someone said, well, the GBC is wrong. So, but still it's going on. How many years? 45? 47? Since Prabhupada left? 77 he left, so what is it now? That's 25 and 23.
47.
47. Okay, 27 years. The movement is going on. We have no schism. Little fractions made. One sannyasi voting for the other. But the movement is holding. So we just have to cooperate. That was Prabhupada's instruction. Not only cooperate, but keep the Acharya in the center. It's a big instruction which some of the leaders didn't follow. They thought they were on the same level as Prabhupada. His position is unique. He's the power, Shakti Beige. So he told us, he also said at the end, keep the Acharya in the center. But we didn't do that. But out of the gate, it took 10 years before we realized there was a serious mistake with that. That we should keep Prabhupada in the center. So now we're doing it, and Prabhupada should do it. Like I just saw you, Radhanath Swami, the other day. What was it?
Kargar.
Kargar. And he knows I'm here. He's not envious of me, I'm not envious of him. We can cooperate because we keep Prabhupada in the center. We're both happy to see the Prabhupada movement growing. We're both happy to see new people becoming devotees. But there's no envy there. That's the problem. We're all coming from the material, spiritual world. Material world is a place of envy. And it can come into ISKCON also. It did come into ISKCON. I can tell you that story, it's not so pleasant. You want to hear it? Okay. I was a sannyasi from early on. But I was never GBC. So the GBC, in 1976, they met in Mayapur, and they sent their man, Ramaswamy, who was the man at the time, he's preaching here in India, to get me, to bring me to the executive committee of the GBC. So there are three members, Mahakrishna Maharaj, Madhavisa Maharaj, and Rupipa Maharaj. They were all sannyasis at GBC, and BBT, and I was just a regular sannyasi. So I came into the room, and they said, we want you to take a bus. They had the Radha Damodar bus party, and they wanted me in charge of one bus. But that, fortunately, I had gone to Prabhupada that very morning, and I had gotten an assignment to open a center in Korea. I'd like to go to new places, and Prabhupada encouraged me. I'd been there because I was in Japan previously, and I had a visa. I had gone to Korea, and I thought these were nice people, personal, straightforward people. So, with South Korea. North Korea is still causing problems. They're sending troops to help Putin. Anyway, that's the side. So, I kind of left their meeting. They called me for a meeting, but I didn't. I said, I just got up. I said, I already had my assignment, and I left. And then I saw Tamal Krishna a few minutes later, in the next level of the building. He said, how come you left a meeting like this? We were having a meeting, you just walked out. I said, that was not a meeting, it was a kangaroo court. You had already decided.
then I lowered my voice like that, and then tomorrow. I said, why are you leaving this meeting? We were like cats and dogs a little, but I do have a lot of respect for Lord Krishna. He's serving the Prabhupada right now. He did so much service to God, especially in the last days, to Prabhupada in Europe. Anyway, so the next morning, after this incident in the evening, the next morning, Prabhupada's servant taps me on the back in Mangalarti. Prabhupada wants to see you in his room. I mean, I've been called to Prabhupada's room, but I'm headed to Mangalarti. So I went to Prabhupada's room, and two of them were there, Madhavisa and Rupika. And Prabhupada kind of like made an asana with his hand. He said, sit here. Then Prabhupada said, okay, he's here, now you can speak on his face. He didn't like this behind the back. He was very straightforward. So he told him, what's your complaint? Well, Prabhupada, we need, Radha Damodar is very important, and if he takes a bus, and I said, but Prabhupada, I already got permission, I'm going to create. But then Guru said, yeah, but we're collecting so much money in Japan, which we were, so we don't want him there. I said, Prabhupada, it's the only time I spoke. I said, Prabhupada, I'm going to Korea. It's a different country separated by a body of water. I won't disturb their work in Japan. But then they were kind of quiet, and the Prabhupada was quiet. And then Madhavisa said, okay, he can go to Korea, but he has to spend 10 years there at least. And then Prabhupada said, why is this envy started? Even in my presence, this envy is coming out amongst God brothers. He said, I saw this envy amongst God brothers, but only after our Guru Maharaj left the planet. So, they were envy. And Prabhupada had to correct them. So the point I was making is that envy is very prominent. Because why? Everybody doesn't self-promote. When we see it with our children, also they fight because, no, this is my toy. No, this is the material world. So we want to finish up our business here. We want to go back home, back to Godhead. And Prabhupada is offering that. Not very difficult. Little austerity, to listen. Little austerity. No, this is sad. But then once you get accustomed to it, it becomes joyfully performed. What is that verse? 9.2? Rajavidya, Rajaguyam. When you're purified a little bit, then it becomes very joyfully performed. That was Prabhupada's example. He was joyful. The reporter asked him, are you hippies? No, we're happy. He was happy. And that was our feeling. Wow, this guy's old. He's 70 years old. We were 20-something. He's 70 years old, but he's so happy. I use that also. I'm 84 this year. But I'm happy. Is your grandfather happy? No, because when they can't avoid it. And the future is dark. They have no future. They see the future, the past, so they live in the past. They remember that one alcohol company took advantage of that mood. Remember the golden years. There's a bottle of vodka there. You take a few drinks of vodka and then you remember when you were 25, 35. Because the future is not bright when you're 65, 70, 75. What to speak of 85. But I'm right, because I'm going closer to Krishna. And my life is very nice. I'm coming to the program, chanting Hare Krishna. The chanting was fun, wasn't it?
Yes.
It's not difficult. It's a joyful process. Joyfully performed. But we have to, go into it a little seriously. That's like I said. Krishna's free, but he's not cheap. He's ready to give himself. He wants to see, do you really want me? I remember when I was first coming to Krishna consciousness, I had a dream before I was a devotee. And I was attracted. Especially I was attracted to the prasadam. I was living alone, eating peanut butter sandwiches. And, yeah, what did you tell me? No, the kirtan attracted me. It did. And the other thing that attracted me was the sincerity of the devotees. Of the people who were really sincere, they were serious. So I became curious, who was it? That they were, so much, they showed so much loyalty to Srila Prabhupada. And I wanted to meet Prabhupada. But like this, I was coming and I had a dream that Krishna consciousness was just a big sandwich, delicious sandwich. It was right in front of you. All you had to do was bite it. But the problem is we don't want to bite it, or we don't want to take it in earnest. We play around the fringes. So why not take another step to Krishna? He's ready. He's ready to reciprocate. Do something that just will fulfill. You don't have to tell anybody about it. Just do something that you know you're doing in your life that's not pleasing to Krishna, and correct it. And instead do something that you know is pleasing to Krishna. And then you'll make progress. You know how to advertise it? From within, Krishna will reciprocate. He promises. As you take a step to me, he'll take a step to you. He promises. He's very good at keeping his promise. But we have to take the step to him. We've turned away from him. We're envious of him. So we want to get his mercy. We have to take a step to him. He's ready to help. He's sending his representative. He's coming himself, speaking Bhagavad Gita. So there's no fault on his side. Just like the governor, he goes to the prison house. So he may offer some prisoner, if you promise me good behavior, I'll let you go out. But something like that. Krishna comes, he speaks Bhagavad Gita. He brings his associates with him. And when he leaves, he takes his associates back. So that people can see it. This is the real thing. And he's offering us, playing the flute. He's not threatening us. That's what I didn't like about Christianity. There was always a threat. You're going to burn forever and ever. What kind of God is going to see his children burn forever and ever? It's a wrong idea. The devil is also a wrong idea. There's no devil who has a power source separate from God. There are demons. Ranikashipu was a demon. But when Prahlad defied him, and Ranikashipu asked his son, where do you get the power to defy me, Prahlad? And what does Prahlad say? I get my power the same place you get your power, from Krishna. So Krishna is the source of everything, good and bad. It looks bad, but from his point of view, it's a reform school to get us to come back to Godhead. He wants us back. But we can't go back unless we change our mind. So the next material world. Dukalayam Ashashvatam. What are those two things? Who knows? Dukalayam Ashashvatam. What does it mean?
Place of sorrow.
Huh? It means temporary and full of misery. This is the material world. Temporary and full of trouble. Who can say there's no trouble? There's always trouble. We try to alleviate the tough trouble, but it comes back. Because this is made to be troublesome. It's made to be troublesome so that we'll realize this is not my home, I can give it up and go back to Godhead. But we think, no, I have an advantage here. I have good money, I have a big apartment. And so we get attached. And at the time of death, because of that attachment, we get another body, another family. We have to give up our attachment. The Krishna tells us here, don't be attached to this place, it's temporary and full of misery. Temporary and full of misery. But we don't think like that. We think, no, I can be happy here. I'm okay. Everybody's thinking okay. I would give the example. The man is lying on the bed. He's being fed intravenously. Somebody's collecting his stool and urine. And you ask him, how are you, sir? I'm okay. That's how we do it. I'm okay. But we're not okay. But we can't admit that. If we can admit it, then we can become humble and come to the Lord in the right mood, in a humble mood. And ask, beg for His mercy. And find His representative, approach Him, come to His representative. His representatives are there. His books are there. But we don't take advantage. Well, I was fortunate. I took advantage. I saw it like a delicious sandwich. And I kept doing it. And even there were some times that I was kind of like outcast after Prabhupada left the planet. I was criticizing the way the gurus were handling things. And they didn't like that. I was practically thrown out. Dissented. But then I got a dream from Prabhupada and he encouraged me to go on. And then, it became apparent that there was some mistake on the Guru's fault. That they were imitating Prabhupada instead of following in his footsteps. There's two things. I'm a Kara, I'm a Shara. One is following in the footsteps, and one is imitating. So there was some imitation had come in. Remember one of the gurus that I was working with, he was saying, I didn't have to become guru. Everybody knows a guru is perfect. Prabhupada made me a guru, therefore I'm perfect. And then within a couple of years, he was falling down. He was a sex with his own disciple. So it's not, you can't imitate Prabhupada. You should follow in his footsteps. How much Prabhupada spent the whole life qualifying himself before he came to preach. And we think we're on the same level as him. That was a mistake in him, many of them. Majority, I'm not happy to say. Majority of them did it the wrong way. They went off on the wrong foot. And now the GBC realized that by 1987, 10 years later, they realized there was some mistake. And they corrected things. And it's going on. I'm confident this movement's going on. I was in the car coming from morning walk with Srila Prabhupada. We were in the back seat and Prabhupada and the driver in the front. And we came back a different way to the Los Angeles community. A big community, that was Prabhupada's headquarters. Big car. We had most of the houses on the block. It was like our block. And but the devotees were waiting for Prabhupada to come back, but we came back a different way. They didn't see us. So Prabhupada in the car came from behind. And Prabhupada saw all the devotees waiting for him, but they were looking the other way. And he was inspired by the sight of all the devotees. The children had, doties and Tila. And then Prabhupada spoke very gravely and very seriously. He said, they cannot check this movement. This movement will go unchecked for the next 10,000 years. The opposite prophecy. This movement can go on to them. We're just at the beginning. We have to cooperate. Just like Radhanath Maharaj and I, we're cooperating. I don't come here with the idea I'm going to take something. I'm trying to give. Radhanath Swami Ki. He's a very sweet man. He has no malice. That's the qualification. He's a well-wisher to everyone, so why should I quarrel with him? He's my well-wisher. Okay, I could read a verse.
Yes,
Which is
yes.
Read a verse?
Yes.
You read it over. Good for him. What verse is there? How much time we have? The kids are getting hungry? Bhagavad Gita. You could do the last verse of the 6th chapter. 6th chapter is Dhyana Yoga, right? Astanga Yoga. But at the end, Krishna tells of all the yogis, what did he say? And of all the yogis, the one who with great faith, who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders strength the loving service to me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga. This is the highest of all. That is my opinion. So here Krishna is clearly telling us we should become his devotee and render general service to him. Let's see what Prabhupada says in the purport. The word bhajate is significant here. Bhajate has its root in the word bhaj, which is used when there is need of service. The English word worship cannot be used in the same sense as bhaj. Worship means to adore, or to show respect and honor to the worthy one. But service with love and faith is especially meant for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One can avoid worshiping a respectable person or demigod, and may be called discourteous, but one cannot avoid serving the Supreme Lord without being thoroughly condemned. Every living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus every living entity is intended to serve the Supreme Lord by his own constitution. Failing to do this, he falls down. Okay, any questions? Failing to do it, we fall down. We become an illusion. Therefore, we approach Guru, Om Jnana. I'm coming from the ignorance, Om Jnana. I'm a fool. I'm in darkness. Om Jnana. Timira. The light of knowledge, please open my eyes. This is the way we should approach Guru, very humbly. Okay, any comments? I'm going to get this. I'm going to get it. There.
Maharaj is calling.
Okay, next paragraph. In the Bhagavatam 11.5.3 confirms this. Anyone who does not render service and neglects his duty unto the Triumphal Lord, who is the source of all living entities, will certainly fall down from his constitutional position. So we've done that. We've fallen down. We should own up to it, and then we can get rectified. But we say, no, I'm okay. In this verse, the word bhajanti is used. Therefore, bhajanti is applicable to the Supreme Lord only, whereas the word worship can be applied to demigods or other common living entities. The word avajanti, used in this verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, is also found in the Bhagavad Gita. Avajanti mamudha. Only the fools and rascals deride the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. Such fools take it upon themselves to write commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita without an attitude of service, to the Lord. Consequently, they cannot properly distinguish between the word bhajanti and the word worship. So Prabhupada especially didn't like the people who go to the Gita and twist the words of Krishna in order to suit their purpose. I saw, that. I personally saw Prabhupada become upset with those who changed the Bhagavad Gita. He said, and I quote, why don't they write their own book? Why do they take Bhagavad Gita and twist Krishna's words? They do that. It's not to Krishna you have to surrender, it's to the unborn within everyone. No, Krishna's saying, personal pronoun, me. Become my devotee, Manmanabhava, Madbhakta. Aham Tam Sava Papi, me and you should surrender to me. This is Krishna's message, very clear. But they want to eliminate, they want to take Krishna out of the Bhagavad Gita. And they're doing it, they're very popular. Chimayananda mission, Ramakrishna mission, they have big, a lot of followers, and they're all wrong on this point. We don't hate them, we're not going to go over there with the guns and start shooting them. But if we can speak to them, then we should speak clearly. We fight with our words. The Brahman fights with his words. So Prabhupada wanted to open it, we shouldn't be afraid to point out their mistake. They have Bhagavad Gita as it isn't. Okay, one more paragraph. What's this boy's name? Okay. Young boy has to be restless. Leave him. The culmination of all kinds of yoga practice lies in Bhakti Yoga. All other yogas are but means to come to the point of Bhakti or Bhakti Yoga. Yoga actually means Bhakti Yoga. All other yogas are progressions towards the destination of Bhakti Yoga. From the beginning of Karma Yoga to the end of Bhakti Yoga is a long way to self-realization. Karma Yoga, without fruitive result, is the beginning of the path. When Karma Yoga increases in knowledge and renunciation, the stage is called Jnana Yoga. When Jnana Yoga increases in meditation, one is supersold by different physical processes, and the mind is on him, and it's called Astanga Yoga. And when one surpasses Astanga Yoga, it comes to the point of the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna, it is called Bhakti Yoga, the culmination. Actually, Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate goal, but to analyze Bhakti Yoga minutely, one has to understand the other yogas. The yogi who is progressive is therefore on the true path of eternal good fortune. One who sticks to one particular point and doesn't make further progress is called by that particular name. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Kriya Yoga, Dhyana Yoga. That's another big group. Paramahansa Yogananda, Kriya Yoga. One of the active here. You heard of them? They wrote a book, Autobiography of a Yogi.
Yeah.
Yeah, big following of that. But again, they're not going to, they don't know who Krishna. We have to come to see Krishna face to face. Then we can say, now I'm complete. From there we'll stop. Unless you have a question. Like I said, Sukadev was very happy to get questions from Maharaj Krishna. Some of you, nice question. We spend time. So I can tell another story of Prabhupada. Let's see. In the last days I was with Srila Prabhupada. So then I can tell the story there. I was in the habit of, my service was to sing for Prabhupada sometimes when he was lying on the bed. We had small cartels and the kirtan would go on. Even when Prabhupada was resting, he liked to hear the kirtan in the back. And so we were doing that kirtan. So maybe 2 weeks before Prabhupada left the body, I got sick. And I didn't come to sing. And then I came back. And Prabhupada couldn't see very well, but his ear was there and his faculty was there. He was very intelligent. He was really. And so I started singing again. And Prabhupada said, "Oh, you are here." He recognized my voice. And I was thinking, let's stay connected to the ear. And then Prabhupada kind of adopted the mood of Bhagavad, that everybody's in the body except me. And he started speaking. I'm simply a disturbance. You young boys should go out preaching, but you have to stay here with me. And I was like breaking my heart. I said, we're here because we would like to be here. But he was, Then he said, he called the others, and the others came, the leaders. And he wanted to go on a bullock's cart.
Oh.
Yeah, prick around, go over that hill. And it was like, oh. Then we had a meeting, we discussed, and we were saying, how can we do that? The doctor is not in favor of it. The bullock's cart is so bouncy. Oh, the Prabhupada was giving argument. You can put a mattress on the bullock's cart. And I said, I asked him, the Prabhupada is now his cold season is coming, middle of November. If you go out, how will you stay warm? We can stay under a tree. Under trees, and people warm. And Lokanath went, and he asked me to come with us. We brought the bullock's cart. You all know Lokanath.
Yes.
And we brought the bullock's cart. And then I was in Prabhupada's room, and there was one Prabhupada Godbrother, Krishna Das Prabhupada. Forget his exact name. Krishna Das Prabhupada. He is Bengali, he's a very slight person. He was sitting on Prabhupada's bed. We didn't see him. But they got him. He was like had a body that maybe weighed 100 pounds, like a child. And he was sitting on the bed. Very smart, Bengali. And they were talking Bengali some. And suddenly, two devotees came in the room full of emotion. Bhakti Chu and Bhavananda. Bhakti Chu, you knew Bhakti Chu.
Yes.
He spoke with feeling. He said, Prabhupada, Kamal Krishna is very upset that you're going on this Bullock's club. He's very upset and he doesn't want you to go. And we also feel upset. The three, those two. They were like the inner circle. Ramananda, Chu, and Kamal Krishna. They were the inner circle. Kamal was so smart. So they Prabhupada then started saying, I didn't want to cause this. So then he turned to Babaji and said, see how much they love me. So that was the final. Prabhupada didn't go to the last part. And then in a few days he left his body. It was difficult, but at the same time he was teaching us. Like one devotee came into Prabhupada, hadn't seen him in a long time, and he saw Prabhupada. He was like shocked. His body had wasted away. And when Prabhupada saw that shocked look, and he said, I don't think it won't happen to you. Not gonna unless we carry on. You're gonna have to also experience that old age. So we should be prepared. That's why we say, Dukalayam Shashvatam. It's a temporary place full of trouble. But we're attached to it. That's our foolishness. We shouldn't be attached to it. We go through life, we use everything in Krishna's service. This is called Yukta Vairagya. Guru Goswami has given us this formula. Use everything in Krishna's service. You don't throw away like computer. This is material. Somebody, oh, you guys on a computer? Yes, because we have the verse of Bhagavad Gita here. If you use everything in Krishna's service, you don't throw things away. The forms also. But how much are you using them in Krishna's service, and how much are you using to chit chat? That's the problem. So raises edge. Like the internet is full of pornography. Well, we have to use the internet. We have to be careful. Don't become victim. It's easy. This is the Kali Yuga. Okay? More question? Was there a question? No, there was no question. I didn't get one question from any of you. Yes.
Thank you very much for this. One question which always comes to my mind. We go on telling people to come attend the satsang, we encourage people, but they don't turn up. And or sometimes they come for one lecture and it disappears. So what we should do? Again, we should keep on calling them again and again. How should be our approach?
You know, Will Prabhupada was the same way. He went to the boat so many times to think whether I'm going to go back to India or not. Because he wasn't getting successful with it. And he was Prabhupada. How empowered living entity, but he persevered. We're looking for that one moon, not millions of stars. And so the moons are rare. So don't be discouraged. Go on. Because Krishna will see your effort, that you're, where's that? Let me read that verse. This is a verse that comes after the Sarvadharma Pitta, which is considered the, the ultimate or the last instruction of Bhagavad Gita, is Sarvadharma Pitta. Okay, here it is. Chapter 18, text number 18, you have it, you guys have it your own. It's, 18, 69, 69, 68, For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me. I'll repeat it. For the one who explains the supreme secret to the devotees, so we have to preach to devotees. Most people are not devotees. But you'll find somebody who is a potential devotee. Maybe not everybody. Most people they're not interested. So we shouldn't be discouraged. But if we find it, if we try, then Krishna said, such a person, the next verse, there is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. So we want to be dear to Krishna, we should go on with the preaching, whether we get a result or not. We're making an effort, then Krishna will recognize us. Krishna will be pleased with us. Well, extending himself. So these two verses, I'll read them again. 68 and 69. For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed. At the end he will come back to me. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. Now we can get Krishna's mercy quickly. Preach. There's opportunities, especially here in India. Everybody knows Krishna. You just tell them, you're Hare Krishna. That's preaching right there. You think, hey, that person's a Hare Krishna? I thought he was a businessman. That doesn't it? They're from every walk of life. Anymore. See all those people out there? What do you think? These are good. Oh, that's okay. He's okay. Don't force him. You learned that, huh? Okay, then, I have nothing more to give, I don't think. You want to speak something? One word or two? Anybody else make a comment or question? Yeah. Huh? You're making fool.
Maharaj, Ananya knows a lot of shlokas.
Okay, they will recite few shlokas.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes, Divisha?
well, just here, at least one.
Okay. Huh.
You have to say loud, it's like, because I
All
can't
of
hear.
Yes,
us
yes,
can
they
hear.
will- they
Stand
will-
up, stand, fold your
Stand.
hands nicely.
That's right.
Chapter.
So, like, we're reciting chapter 15.
Chapter 15. They want to
Of
recite
Bhagavad
chapter
Gita.
15, Maharaj.
Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15.
Chapter 15.
Yes.
Yeah.
What verse?
1 to 8. 1 to 8.
First
Oh,
verse
you
to
know
eight.
all 8 verses?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah.
Ah, let me look. I don't know. Okay, you can start. 8, chapter 15,
Chapter.
text 1.
Yes. Come on.
पञ्चदशोऽध्यायः पुरुषोत्तमयोगः श्रीभगवानुवाच ऊर्ध्वमूलमनःशाखमश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम् छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवेत् अधश्चोर्ध्वं प्रसादस्य शाखा गुणा प्रविद्या विषयप्रवालाम् अधश्च मूलानि अनुसन्ततानि कर्मानुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके न रूपमस्येह तथोपलभ्यते नातो न चादिर्न च सम्प्रतिष्ठा अश्वत्थमेनं सुविरुद्धमूलम् असङ्गशस्त्रेण दृढेन चित्वा ततः पदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यं यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूया तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यथा प्रवृत्ति प्रसृता पुराणी निर्माणमोहाजितसङ्गदोषा अध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामा द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ता सुखदुःखसंज्ञे गच्छन्त्यमूला पदमव्ययं तत् न पासयते सूर्यो न शशाको न पावकः अमृतम यदवाप्नोति यच्चाप्युत्क्रामतीश्वरः ग्रहीतवैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धानि वासयात् हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
Gopananda.
हरे बोल
Goracha. Is that right, Goracha?
Yes,
I
yes.
don't know where it is, I remember. Okay. So what time is it? 7:15. Any more entertainment like that?
Chapter 1.
I know one verse in the 15th chapter. Takes 15. Savashita hamini sani pisto, mataskita gyana, bohanamcha, yasya sasnatama, eva redya, vedanta kred, veda vid, eva chaha. You know?
We said, we did this in the Anna.
Wow.
That's right.
You're all in the same family, this boy too?
Yeah.
That's your family.
Wow, what a devoted. I came from a family of 4 also. We had 2 boys and 2 girls. The 2 girls were the oldest.
Same here. Same here, Maharaj. So these two girls, they were elder.
And these two are.
These 6.
Yeah, he said you answer.
These 2. And my sister.
Amongst the 4, he meant first 2 were the elder.
They all left the body now. I tried to preach them a little bit. They heard it like this. And who is the good father here?
Yeah, Maharaj.
Huh? You're the father of these children?
Yes, she's the mother.
Yeah. We are 2 brothers, Maharaj.
So, she is a grandmother. And my father-in-law, that's my mother-in-law.
You're the mother of these children.
Yes. Yeah.
There's 4.
Two and
This time together it is easy.
so these are my children. And
Oh.
like this.
They dress the same and everything.
Yeah, they're dressed same because we stay in the same
We
house.
stay together.
We stay together. The
Like a
grandmother.
joint family.
It's a joint family.
You don't see that much in America.
Even not much in India.
Hey, what other verse you know?
What other words?
What
you
other
know?
verses you know?
Hanuman Chalisa.
No, any other?
And my Chalisa is
What other verse? Any other verse?
Any other verse?
Chapter 1 but half.
Chapter 1.
10 to 20 minutes.
Chapter 2, text 13. As the body and soul is continually passes in this body, the void of you.
I know the translation of 12. I know the translation of
Whatever. I don't know many of them. Yeah, it's on my
This splendor of the sun come from you. No.
Maharaj, she knows how to play the flute. Sit over there.
Put it here.
That's okay, that's okay. Reminds of us of Krishna, right? He's playing the flute like that. And the gopis suddenly they become bewildered. Just leave everything and just run out. Okay, anyone else? What about this boy? What does he do?
ये बोलेगा जय श्री कृष्ण ना
ये महाराज को सबको देने के लिए महाराज
जी जी
Haribo, Hare
So the distribution of sweets.
You have to be cute like that. Who's going to chant?
you sure? Maharaj will give from the Maharaj.
You want it?
You should take it now.
Prabhu, start singing, no?
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your enthusiastic participation and patience throughout the lecture and your kind hospitality for welcoming and hosting His Holiness Sri Vikram Swami Maharaj. So I have a very nice gift for all of you. Guru Maharaj has written a book about his exchanges, pastimes and memories with Srila Prabhupada. As we got to hear so many wonderful nectarian pastimes from Maharaj's mouth, and we are very blessed to have this opportunity to have this book for every one of us. And Maharaj has personally signed this book. So any devotees who would like to grab this opportunity, please come and collect it here, right in front of Maharaj. And we charge 200 rupees for a book, but you can always give whatever your heart content for this donation of this book. Hare Krishna.
What do you want to do now?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare